What's going on, Figure Maniacs? The Figure Mania show is back, and we are back. And man, this is an exciting show today. So I have with me Mike Monsters. What's going on, my friend?
How's it going, everybody? Happy to be here.
Awesome. And then we have the incomparable Shin Rob-Jiro. What's going on, my friend?
What's going on, everybody?
Yes.
Lovely night.
And we also have the awesome Kaiju Canuck. What's going on, my friend?
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here.
Yes, and the articulation series, the one and only. And he'll be jumping on video soon. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, everybody? Happy to be here.
Yes, and today we have our special guest from Super7's own Kyle Wlodyga. What's going on, sir? Thank you for coming.
Of course, anytime.
Woo!
All right. Let's hold your applause, please.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, and we have 16 people in the chat already. That's pretty cool. So let's acknowledge some people. So we got Chrono the Gaming Chronosaurus. What's up? We have Mecha Godzilla. Ooh, we have Mecha Godzilla. Okay. And we have Kaiju Fan 1954. What's going on? And we have Kaiju Canuck. Oh my God! Wait a minute. That's cool. All right, guys. So very exciting show that we have for you guys today, and let's just get right into it. Kyle, thank you for coming. Can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Yeah. So my name's Kyle. I am the associate art director at Super7, and I work on the Godzilla line and the Turtles line and the heavy metal line and horror and O-ring figures and vintage figures and all kinds of stuff. I've been there since 2019. Just a long time. Almost 6 years now, and I've been there from the beginning of when we had the Toho license through now. And lifelong Godzilla fan, so getting to work on this stuff is an absolute dream come true.
That's cool, and I love the minus color poster right behind you there.
That's the official one from Toho directly, or Toho US or whatever. So.
Sick, very cool. Yeah. So yeah, you guys, Super7 had recently a very big release. Okay, with
sure.
minus color, -1, and here's my beautiful big boy, and I absolutely love this figure so much. Yeah. So yeah, and other people have it too. So you got your own. Oh, so does Kaiju Canuck.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah. That's the minus color one. This is it's genuine. This one is color, right? But then Canuck has the minus color one.
Yes.
Kind of indistinguishable at a distance, which is interesting. But
sure.
They are the same mold, I guess. So
yeah. So this person is asking, is -1 worth it? Yeah, man. I mean, look.
I don't know. Kyle Wlodyga. Don't ask me. That's not correct. That's not fair. He just makes it.
No, I love my figure very much, man. Like the photos that I did with this thing, I was like, yeah, this thing rocks so hard, man. It really does.
Your photos have been incredible. It's kind of wild.
Thank you.
When a really truly talented like photographer gets their hands of like a figure, it reminds you of what that whole medium can really be. It's something I aspire to. So very impressive work.
Awesome. So this person's saying, okay, Ghidorah.
Just getting into it. That's good.
This is really
dude.
swinging.
You're not gonna no
foreplay.
No dinner first. No, nothing. Cool.
1,000 bottles of baby oil.
Yeah, so you guys are gonna make Roger jealous. Yeah, Rob, are you getting the -1 or?
Yes, I'm just waiting on Big Bad Toy Store to send me the email and take all my money.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
So it's planned. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Very good.
I'd like
all
to.
Right.
I'm excited to watch the videos, guys. I liked Kyle's, so I liked Harold's. So let's go. Come on.
Awesome. Alrighty.
Oh,
so
no, next.
You guys want to send me
none
one?
of this. None of this. No, next slide. No, thank you.
All right, so let's get right into the questions. Kyle, what's your breakfast of champions?
Oh man. I like a good breakfast burrito. It comes from my days as a lifeguard. Before I was like a toy designer. I had worked a lifeguard as like for 10 years, and I used to do the super early morning shift, and there was a Mexican place that was right next to the pool that was open early enough, and I used to get breakfast burritos every morning. And so that's probably why I look like this, but I still stand by my breakfast burritos with sausage or bacon or whatever. You can't really go wrong. It's all the good stuff in one easily handleable package.
Yeah, cool. Very, very nice. Yeah. So, Kyle, are you a pet person?
So I never grew up with them. Never grew up with pets because my mom was allergic to anything with a pulse. So it was a little bit difficult. But my girl is very into dogs, and I recognize how happy they make her, and therefore, that's obviously going to transfer on to me once we do get to it. Once we start living in a place that allows pets. So we're actually thinking about like trying to figure out a way to like say like, oh, I need an emotional support pet, so we can like force our landlord to do it. But we'll see. I doubt it. I had fish as a kid. That was fun. But
Yeah. Like I was never much of a pet person until I came to Taiwan, and now I'm a proud dog dad, a childless dog dad.
Yeah. Good. Right answer, because cats will eat you if they were.
No, I love cats too.
That's what a tiger is, though. They don't care about you as a person. Dogs truly love you. Yeah.
Cool. Very nice. So, so I kind of asked you a little bit already, like what were you like growing up? Were you into comics, video games, sports, that sort of thing?
Sort of everything. I mean, I grew up I was born in Detroit, but I grew up in California because my dad moved us out here when I was pretty young. I was always into art. Actually, we've talked about it before on other streams, even with Kyle here, that like I got into art and stuff because my grandfather bought me those like original Dark Horse Godzilla comics. And I just started copying those and drawing a lot, and never really put a pencil down ever since. But because of that, I was kind of into everything: comics, video games. I did water sports because we were in California, so like swimming and water polo from like middle school to high school, but it wasn't really like part of my identity, and I really like quit sports like midway through high school so I could focus on doing art and like following those passions. So and I had a younger brother, or I have a younger brother who's 6 years younger than me, and we bridged that gap with video games and cartoons and SpongeBob and that kind of stuff. So I was sort of into everything, and I think that is reflected kind of in what I get to do now at Super7, where it's like, hey, do you know this? And it's like, of course I know that thing. Like, let me work on that. Let me go on this. Let me work on this. So like everything I get to work on is like, there's very few things I've done in my career that I'm like, I don't know what this is. I don't care. Most of the time I have some semblance of like, oh, this is cool for this reason. And then I get to make it cool. So.
There is one thing. There is one property that I'm waiting to see if Super7 will pick it up. I don't know if you guys remember. Do you remember a cartoon called The Bionic 6?
I don't. You'll have to fill me in.
Really? You guys don't remember The Bionic 6? Okay. Okay. I'll yeah, you can Google it. Yeah, that was. I remember it being pretty popular back then. Like it was like the figures were like a 3/4 inch, and then like they were partly die cast.
Oh,
you remember that?
1987. It's a little bit before my time.
Okay. So so now you know how old I am.
All good. All good.
Yeah. So Kyle, when did your collecting journey begin?
Oh man, I mean, I guess I started collecting comics when my grandfather started giving me those comics from Dark Horse. But I do remember specifically, like after, like I would have an allowance, and it was $4 a week, and this was back in like 1995 or 6 or whatever. And like, I had $4 a week, I have an allowance. $1 of it had to go to savings. $1 of it had to go to charity. So it's like, cool. They taught me about taxes early. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But it took me, I think, like 2.5 years to save up for a Nintendo 64.
Wow.
And I got the cool like Pokemon Stadium bundle one that had like the purple clear controller and all that stuff. But after that, I started, I still was accumulating wealth, I guess $2 a week or whatever. But then that translated into like, oh, I need to have, I should probably spend this on something. And so my parents took me to Walmart, and there you go. There's some Toy Biz Marvel Legends. And I remember buying the Beast X-Men figure from Marvel Legends, like the 1/12 scale, like that one that like people still love as like their like go-to Beast, or with like the hinged jaw and stuff and the toe pivot and all that craziness with like the trigger fingers. But they came with comics too, and so I bought that one and I like read the comic. I was like, this is amazing. That was kind of like my first introduction to X-Men, and so I bought another one. That's when I started like collecting whole teams, and I like built the Sentinel Build-A-Figure and all this time. I'm 12, 13 doing all that. It was kind of crazy. So probably then, I guess, would be my answer. So
yeah,
it's kind of hard to. It always feels like I've sort of been into this the whole time. So
yeah,
like can't really think of a time where I wasn't collecting stuff.
Sure, cool, man, very nice. And now I know you're into heavy metal. A little thing that you guys don't know about me, I like heavy metal too. Maybe not as much as you.
I mean, I kind of put it together from your intro video music.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I used to be into like like Metallica, but I was also into Testament and things, and Five Finger Death Punch, and so like when I'm in the gym, I'm working out, I like to listen to them. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like that pumping and things like that. You know what I mean? Feel the pythons pumping and things. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Very good.
So what bands are you into?
Oh man, I got a lot. Obviously I'm into Ghosts because I do all their Ghost stuff.
Yeah.
Really like Metallica, of course. Like I really like all those classic kind of thrash metal bands and stuff. Like Testament's great. Obituary is awesome. I'm really into this Swedish band called Opeth, which is like progressive metal. Not sure if anybody knows who that is. But I've been recently listening to a lot of Powerwolf because I got to see them live last month, which was great. If anyone's familiar, it's like pseudo-religious werewolf power metal. It's kind of and it's like operatic. It's kind of wild. But then I also have been doing some stuff on the side for these bands that I really like, who I realize don't have good merchandise, or they don't have enough, or like I wish that they had more.
Sure.
And so like through just like walking up to them at like shows and stuff, I told him, I was like, hey, like I'm an illustrator, like I work on toys, I do this stuff. Like I got to work with some of these guys that I actually really like, and I've been doing merch for those guys. So I did some pins. I have a new poster run coming out. So one of those bands is called Early Moods. They're a doom metal band out of Los Angeles. Highly recommend. Probably one of my favorite bands out there right now. And they're just cool dudes. So it's easy to like work with them and just do fun stuff with them, like while they're on tour, and they give me these cool opportunities. So
that's awesome, man.
It's been a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. And so what made you decide to take the career path that you're on now, Kyle?
Oh man. Is it bad if I say it was an accident?
No.
No. Okay. Cool. Because it was, I guess, what made me decide to do this was like someone showed it to me as an opportunity. Like I had never considered this a whole like as a career like option period for a long, like forever probably. So I interned with like a trading card company out in Lake Forest because, and this is, we're gonna get the long version of this. My ex water polo coach, his roommate worked at this company, and I went to his house one night for like a Magic the Gathering draft tournament, just randomly, and I was talking to him about what I was doing, and like they're like, I need an internship so I can like graduate. And he was like, oh, we need an intern, like you should come to the studio. like, okay, cool. Like the next week, go to the studio, work on. They give me the job. I work on like a digital trading card platform for like 6 months. It was from like January to July of like 2012, or 2013. And like while I was there, I talked to everybody, got everybody coffees or whatever. But I also sat next to this guy who was the like, what was his name? His title was like art acquisition manager for trading cards. So his whole thing was like working with artists, finding people to like do sketch cards, and like gathering artists to do art for the trading card sets. And I sat next to that guy, and so when my internship ended, I like sent that guy an email. I was like, "Hey man, I'd love to work with you." He's like, "Actually, I have a slot. Here we go." And so I worked on like these Adventure Time trading cards for them, and then like did a couple other little things here and there, and then eventually that guy pulled me in for a 1-month contract to do data entry for all that art that he had been accumulating. And while I was there during that month contract, I sat next to a guy who was the then like brand new creative director of the brand new collectibles department at this place. And I was like, oh man, and we talked a lot. He liked like Motu. I liked Motu. We like Transformers and we actually bonded on Star Wars. He has like a crazy Greedo collection.
Wow.
And my contract ended after a month, but then like a week later, that guy takes me to lunch, talks about what he kind of sees the vision, like sees for that department, and then gives me freelance work for 6 months after that. So again, it was really just like Forrest Gumping into the right opportunity at the right time and talking to the right person, and then becomes full-time like toy industry kind of thing. Most people I've talked to like in this industry, it's sort of like no one plans to be here. Like you end up here. It's almost like breaking into prison a little bit. Like it's only going to work one way because they're going to they're going to like seal the door behind you and no one else can get in that way,
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. So it was really just like fortuitous sequence of events.
That's cool, man. That's a very interesting story.
It's really a testament to like the power of networking, like, and
absolutely,
not really saying no within reason. Like, don't do like meth or whatever, but like, if you're
sound
like
advice.
if you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't go to this party, I don't know anybody, like meet somebody there. You don't know what that's going to turn into.
Sure. So in your career, are there any artists in your field that has been influential to your career that led you to your art style or anything like that?
Man, I mean, I really love comics, and like in college, I wanted to like my exit portfolio was comic book covers, and I wanted to be a cover artist for a long time. It didn't really work out because I realized how much work that is. It's kind of a lot. And for not that much money. So you got to like work your ass off so that you can like make a normal amount of money. I'm like, I don't want to do that. Yeah. But I still love all that stuff. And so like a lot of artists that were like really like pivotal to me, Eric Powell of the Goon series, if anybody knows that guy. Obviously Adam Hughes, who's like amazing. I love James Stokoe. If anyone knows his Godzilla art is like amazing. And then of course, obviously Art Adams, kind of the guy who like started me down this whole path. Yeah, there's a lot of like golden age illustration guys that I really like Ed McGuinness and
Ed McGuinness,
Rockwell, and those kind of guys. So my dad was like a big Rockwell print collector growing up, so he has like a few of those in the house, and not like originals. He's not like George Lucas or anything, but he definitely has like reproductions because he likes Rockwell. So that kind of stuff.
That's cool, man. That's very cool. So, you've worked on a lot of big properties, pop culture properties that you mentioned already. So, which ones were like the most enjoyable ones, and which ones like were like the most challenging in your field, in your time?
I'm trying to think. I think Ghostbusters for me was the most challenging, only because when I was working on Ghostbusters, and this is nothing against anybody or anything in that field or whatever, I was working on Ghostbusters during the time period of the like all female Ghostbusters reboot. So the like energy was like at all time high negativity. It was like everyone had that like pink ooze all over them. At that time, it was not great. So like I now have a tenuous like emotional relationship with Ghostbusters, whether I like them or not, but I try and think of it in a more positive light. I've been separated from that franchise long enough that I still think about the good stuff. But then, like working on, there's a lot of stuff that's really rewarding. Like Godzilla's amazing. You get to like getting to work on like, the new Godzilla as it's in theaters. Oh, and you can pre-order the figure that I worked on right now. Like was a pretty wild like experience. But then like working on, Cliff Burton of Metallica, a guy whose like tabs I used to read and like try and play and stuff is like amazing. Or like, the guy who is the lead singer of that band that you really, really like approves the thing that you drew. And you're like, oh, what? Okay, cool. But then, like Turtles. I had a lot of fun working on Turtles because you get to, for the most part, you get to invent like kind of a lot of stuff as long as it's like within the Turtle universe. Like they don't really say no to a whole lot. So like that they just announced today that Gorilla figure is shipping. That's not, there was no like action figure toy reference or anything like that. He's a character from the comics who never had a toy. Like it sort of became Sergeant Bananas or whatever, but like I got to invent like a whole new kind of character to contribute to the TMNT fandom or like canon, which is like kind of incredible. So I've had a lot of cool opportunities, and ultimately I'd say that they're more of them are positive than negative or challenging, as you had worded it.
Cool. Very nice. So, okay, let's get into a big question. So when did you become a Godzilla fan, and which one is your favorite?
Oh, I don't know if I can pick a favorite. I definitely think that like reading those comics was my first like, oh, what is this? Like that was like my really Godzilla origin story. It was probably solidified by the 98 movie, seeing that in theaters for my 8th birthday, because I'm pretty sure it came out on my birthday that year.
Yeah.
Again, I was 8 years old. I was the perfect like audience for it. So I will not apologize for liking that movie.
No, I like that movie too. Like I saw that movie 3 times in theaters, and like, but it was at a time like I wasn't around any other Godzilla fans, you know what I mean? So I wasn't pointed or anything about anybody else's opinions and stuff like that. I just enjoyed it for what it was. I went by myself one afternoon. And then I come home, and then I get a call from my cousin. Let's go see Godzilla.
Sure.
Like, and I didn't want to tell him that I already saw this movie, so I went back.
Yeah, I'll go again. Yep.
Same day.
I've done that for sure.
And then like the following day, a buddy, hey, let's go see Godzilla. I was like, okay.
All right, yeah. If I have to, yeah.
Sure.
So, what's my favorite version though? I mean, probably Burning Godzilla. Just because I like how like thick and just full of rage he is. Like he's, I mean, you'd be mad too if you were constantly on fire.
Sure.
Like, thick with rage,
and no one could understand. No one could understand how upset you are. And then they kill your kid, and you're just so sad that you die.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably Burning Godzilla. But
I think the cheeky answer is Space Godzilla.
Yeah, I mean, I do like Space Godzilla a lot. I mean, if we're going villains, I would probably pick out Space Godzilla. But
Space Godzilla is cool. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, okay, so you've been working at Super7 since 2019.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's that been like?
It's been great. It's been interesting because, like, obviously went through pandemic, and I used to work in the office. Obviously, I'm not in the office right now. This is my home office, so gone through all of that stuff. So, notwithstanding, there's like probably some similar shared experience we all have in working, as professionals here a little bit. But as far as like the actual work, the day-to-day stuff, like it's been great. I love all the people that I work with. They're really, really fun. They are all very passionate. Like Brian Flynn, great dude, awesome leader, super passionate about Godzilla stuff. So like I've talked about it before, like the day that we got, our Godzilla license, he was like, here's a plan for the next 10 years. And I was like, great. I don't have to think about anything. I can just draw the stuff, watch the movies, and have a great time. So it's been really good. And they've been really supportive when I do have ideas like the Dark Horse Godzilla, like some other stuff, like some ghost stuff. it's been really fun. It's a really cool collaborative environment. You know, we've had to change what that looks like working remotely for the most part.
Yeah.
But that spirit of collaboration is still there. So I love it here. It's great.
Cool. Kaiju Canuck, can you answer this person's question? You have this figure.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn my light on. Hold on a second. Yeah.
Yeah. Super 7 Space Godzilla. If you like Space Godzilla, the Ultimates is a giant, hefty Space Godzilla. Looks great. Fun figure. I have a video on it. You should watch it.
Yes.
Boom, look at that.
Oh.
There it goes.
Bring it up. Bring it up. There we go.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. I got to get myself
really long.
that figure now.
The tail is incredibly long, and the back crystals are so nice. They look so good.
Yeah. They're translucent and all that fun stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, that looks phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
I love that he has fists.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was not intentional. It was more like, oh, I just let me take my drawing and just copy the hands and color them blue. Like, because I need to finish this drawing today.
Yeah.
But it worked out because, you know, there's like that very famous panel that I see reposted in a lot of Discord servers of him like holding the baby and then like crushing it.
Yeah.
So I did that on purpose, everyone. You're welcome. I knew that was going to happen before they put it in the comic. So.
Cool. So you kind of mentioned this already. It was one of my other questions. So what was going through your mind when Super 7 got the Toho license? So
excitement, elation, joy. Finally, now it's our turn. And then, Flynn, like I said, Flynn has been wanting to make Godzilla toys longer than I've been alive. So, like, as soon as that we got the confirmation, which was a little bit earlier than us announcing it, he was like, "Here's the line plan. There you go." And I was like, "Great." And I was like, looked through. I was like, "Yes, correct. Yep. Not enough Ebra. Okay, correct. Yes, got it. Absolutely. Yep." And then just off to the races from there. So, and it's been really fun. Yeah.
I remember seeing Brian Flynn. The first time I saw Brian Flynn was the specials, like the extras for Godzilla 2014.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He got to speak on about Godzilla and stuff like that. And then like when it was announced that Super 7 got the license to do Godzilla, and then all of a sudden I saw Pixel Dan's interview with Brian Flynn, and that's when I discovered. I go, wait a minute, I've seen this guy before, right? And then I went back. I go, oh, yeah, that's him. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Fun. Yeah, I'll have to go back and look at those extras. First time I ever saw him was Toys That Made Us. Because we're both in the Motu episode. Thank you very much. he got interviewed asking about the historical significance and fiscal responsibility of working on Masters of the Universe, and I was in the background paying for a Mythic Legions figure. You can only tell it's me because I'm wearing like my show battle vest, and it's like in the exact patches, and it's like, oh, there's a ghost shirt. I was like, yeah, that's me for sure. Yeah, but it's neck down. You can't see my face at all. So
cool, very nice.
Yeah.
So, what's the relationship and like you kind of mentioned this briefly, but what's been the relationship between Super 7 and Toho been like so far?
So far, so good, man. I mean, they've been very supportive. I think that they definitely like really support us in anything we really want to do. Maybe sometimes to a detriment. I mean, I'm looking at maybe this guy right now.
I still need one of those.
I'm looking for that one.
I still can't believe they said yes to this guy. But I'm so glad that they did, because I've never seen anything like this before. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, very unique.
I'm just now starting to look for that one too.
Good.
Yeah, and I know I'm late in the game. But I decided to, you know what, I want to pick that up.
Are you seeing the stupid prices like I am too?
I see a guy that's on, well, I'm not going to say where I'm at, but they are selling it for like $115, so I'm hoping to connect with them.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah,
that is really good.
It's way better than what I've been seeing.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty.
But they've been awesome. There's very few things that they say no to. And it's like, hey,
really?
we want to do this, crazy colorway from 1970 never that 4 people remember, and they're like, yeah, sure, go for it, and it sells because it looks good. So
wow,
it's been
so
fun.
like who, like, how does that approval work? Like you make the figure, or like you have like a sample and then you send it off to Tokyo, I'm assuming? Is that
no, so there's a lot of steps to licensing, and there's people who are much smarter than me who work for us that do handle all of our licensing stuff. It's like a whole very nuanced side of a business. So I don't want to say anything that's too incorrect or whatever, but essentially it kind of goes in stages. We, if we're doing like a wave of figures, we submit, hey, we want to do this wave. And they say yay or nay to these character selections, all this stuff, like whatever. But then once that's approved, or if you just want to start out, like you do a concept, and that's kind of where I come in. I draw kind of the idea, do full on concept art, illustrations of this will look like this will move like this part comes off, this part is glowy, this part is clear, whatever. Full concept art illustration to like show them what we're doing so they can like understand it and see it. Then they approve that, and then once they approve that, then we can start sculpting it. And it's like every single stage they got to go and approve it, all that stuff. And there is like an added layer of Toho with that. There is Toho US approves it, and then there is Toho Japan approves it, and then it's fully done. So a little bit extra layer. Usually it's just one person who's reviewing it. But that's also how a brand like this that's been around for 70 years maintains its integrity, as you have those people who are like guardians of this very beloved character. So we need them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very nice, man. So let's get into another big question. So when did you know that you were going to work on Godzilla -1, and like what was your reaction to that?
Nothing but excitement. But it was I'm trying to think, when did the movie come out? The movie came out in December of last year. I think we found out like September ish, something like that. So I mean, it wasn't like we were seeing the models early. Like his design had been revealed at that point. So like, we you could see what he looked like. It's not like we got to see Godzilla before everybody else. But we did get a copy of the digital files from the movie, which was pretty wild to see. Like the whole thing, you could I could turn it around and look at it from all angles and that kind of stuff. It was like in a basic. It was actually almost exactly like in this pose.
Hold on a second. Let me.
You're good. It's just standard like TV. It was basically like it came like this, pretty much. And it was all one file. Actually, it was 2 files: the whole body and then the spikes.
Yeah,
the 2 separate files. But he was missing. He did not have his like hand claws, and he didn't have his eyes or his teeth. So we had to like kind of interpret that a little bit. But it was pretty cool to like have a model directly from there. It's like, oh, let me look at this. I'm gonna get in there and see what that looks like and all that. And I could just do that on my computer, which was pretty cool. So
very cool. Yeah, man. I mean, I remember like what was it, like back last November was when the SH Monster Arts version released. And I pre-ordered that figure, and I was very excited for that figure. And then come to find out, the guy that I normally get my figures from, he's like, oh, something happened. I'm not getting that figure to my store, so I'm going to refund you your money. And then I messaged Michael. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe the worst day is happening. But my -1 got canceled, and I got to look for it and things. And then like Michael's like sending me links. Oh, you can try getting it here and stuff like that. And then I remember like here in town in Tainan, there's a brand new store that opened up, and I'm not sure if this is like it's Bandai related. You know what I mean? Like, they got like a lot of Bandai stuff. So I walked in there, and then my wife's like, "Where are you going?" I'm gonna go to the store, see if that Godzilla is there.
Yeah.
And then, let's go later, because that same day we had to pick up our new Toyota Sienna. We just bought a second one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, let's go. We'll go later. I was like, okay, fine. But then you guys released the solicitation that same day for the -1.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I'm getting this just in case I don't get this the SH Monster Arts version, right? So I ordered it, and then we went to town, and then it was there. You know what I mean? And then like I was freaking out, and my wife was like right next to me. She's like, "Keep it down." I was like, "It's here." I grabbed it.
Sure.
But then, like from time to time, I would keep looking at the renders that you guys put out, and I was like, "Oh, man." And then like now having this in hand, like I'm so happy.
Good. Happy. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's such a beautiful figure.
Well, it's easy to say when you make it look that good with all the
Thank you. Yeah, man. Yeah. So what was the most challenging part of bringing the -1 to reality, Kyle?
Probably the most difficult part was getting the articulation correct, because it is like a brand new figure, but like I said, it just came like in one block, just like this. There are no cuts; it's all smooth because it's like a CG model.
Yeah.
So I work in-house with a very, very, very talented sculptor named David White, who goes by Mechazone on Instagram. He and I worked on this. We did what he called the Vulcan mind meld, where it was like I took a screenshot of the whole model front and side and back, and then I drew where I think all the cuts should go and how it should be engineered, and like the tail and all that. And then he took that, he did a couple other things, and I would do it we did like maybe 3 or 4 rounds of going back and forth, kind of trying to figure out, well, if you cut this here, then this can go there, but like, well, we have to do this type of neck articulation because of this and that and all that. And then he just kind of went for it. So he took the digital files from the thing and then executed kind of our shared vision for how the figure should move, which was pretty cool. He will probably tell you that the hardest part is getting all of those spikes to draft correctly. Yeah. All the spikes and all of the like texture on the legs, like, because if they're not lined up correctly for how the molds pull and separate, like it's not gonna work. And so for the most part, what you have is a like 1-to-1 of the movie CG like figure with minor changes to like some scales and stuff, so that you can actually like reproduce it in plastic.
Wow. So this is okay. So that was going to be one of my questions. So this is pretty much 1-to-1 to the file that you did receive. Then
it's let's call it 98%.
98%. But still, man, it's. But you know what? Like this still fits with the Super 7 aesthetic of the figures that you guys have made. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, like I can't stop looking at this guy. Like whenever I walk in and out of my room and things, I just look over to him, and it's like, man, this thing is just so fantastic. Yeah.
Thank you.
And you know what? Like I'm very happy with the level of articulation that this guy has. Like he's got all the articulation that this guy should have, at least. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So yeah. So I think you guys did a phenomenal job with this one, and I can't wait to see more like the other variants and stuff.
Yeah. So contrary to popular opinion, we try not to disappoint you. Guaranteed. So.
Oh yeah. Cool. Very nice. Alrighty, so
that one really got robbed.
Now, so here's a final question before like we do we talk about other stuff. Kyle, is there any version of Godzilla that you're itching to bring to life?
I mean, I sort of want to make them all. I really like obviously some Trendmaster stuff, so I'd love to do more toy inspired recolors. I think that would be fun. Not everybody likes recolors though, so I got to keep that in mind. I would love to do more villains and stuff. Like I think, like honestly, Heisei is kind of like my jam, and I know that everybody's like, "Oh, stop making Heisei." It's like, yeah, but I didn't get to make Heisei, so let me make my Heisei. Like, be nice. I want to have my Heisei turn.
Yeah.
Familiar.
Yeah, but I love Heisei. So like I'm kind of set of like Godzillas and stuff that I like, and the -1 was great. But I really I would love more villains. Like I wanna do a Mecha King Ghidorah.
Oh man, a Mecha King Ghidorah.
That one's cool. Orga deserves some love for sure.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, no one's made an articulated Orga yet.
Yeah, Orga would be rad. It's kind of crazy that we've gone this long and not made a Mothra in Ultimates.
Yes.
Like they usually go hand in hand. It's kind of crazy, like that it's taken this long. I don't have a good excuse for why.
This guy is so impressive, Kyle.
Oh, thank you.
Like he just dwarfs. Like I have him here next to with my SH Monstars, and he just dwarfs over all these guys. Like he's about to kill them all, man. Like this guy is insane.
Yeah, he was an opportunity to kind of go crazy on some stuff, which was really fun. Like I always liked Destroya, but then studying him and looking at reference, I was like, oh man, like this guy, like
there's a lot going on.
Really cool.
There is a lot.
I probably missed a lot, honestly. Like, there's too much going on almost. But, no, he was a lot of fun. So I think there's a lot of cool stuff we could do, recolors and new stuff.
Sure.
There's some other stuff that like I think that like is out there that like we haven't, that like either no one else has done or like we haven't done yet either. So I think there's a lot of cool opportunities and no signs of really slowing down here. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. So let's get into other topics now. So
sure.
So this guy just recently released. So and I think Shinra, you have there.
I have him here too. Yeah. So
cool. And Shinra, he's got it too.
Yeah. This is the one that was on display at Comic-Con actually. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He's famous. He's the one that you saw first, right? So
I know that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, you've met before. That's right.
Yeah. What was the like did you always think that you were gonna make this one, or like was it inspired from like the SH Monstars one that was made?
It is not it's not inspired by that. It's not even inspired by Trendmasters, which everybody thinks it is also. There's again, like I kind of cheekily referenced before, there's like a Bandai or like a vinyl Godzilla around this time, like in like 99 or something, like right around like 2000 or whatever, that like was in this color, whereas like this is like what you would call a Meltdown before you could like actually make like a Meltdown. And so Flynn sent like a picture of this one thing, and I was like, all right, cool, so make that. And it just happened to sort of look like that Trendmaster one that I kind of wanted to do, so I was cool with it. So I'm gonna probably take like a purple wash to mine and maybe do that like white chest that's on the Trendmaster one and really just kind of complete the transformation on mine. But yeah, it was just another one of the like Flynn like, hey, we should make this. I'm like, all right, cool, easy. So that's most of our interactions. Yes, sir. That's it. So.
That's awesome. Very cool. All right, and you guys recently announced this is the new reactions, yes?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I did not have the pleasure of working on this one, other than I worked on the 1974 one. This is a recolor of a figure I did. But yeah, King Caesar, and is that 62?
64.
64, thank you. Those are done by our reaction team. Really, really talented guys over there who are also just as passionate about Godzilla. Just a reminder for everybody, I only am talking to you guys because I happen to know all of these people who are on the stream here with me. There are plenty of other people who work just as hard, if not harder than I do, on a lot of the Godzilla stuff for Super 7. So share the love everywhere. It's not just me. So. Yes.
Very cool. Very nice. I don't have any single reactions yet. Because see, like here in Taiwan, like it's just hard to get Super 7 stuff in general. You know what I mean? So like, yeah. So, I saw this announcement. I was like, ooh. Can you talk a little bit about this, Kyle?
I mean, I can, because it's up on Amazon for pre-order right now. It's a first to market exclusive with Amazon. It is a super cyborg Batmobile that may or may not be in 1/18 scale. So,
Oh, it's this one, yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay.
So, yeah. You can see it in the packaging, but you can take some of the panels off and reveal the engine parts and the inner cockpit and all that fun stuff. Rolling wheels, or not working steering wheel, it rotates, and then the turbine also spins. So,
Oh wow, that's cool. Yeah, because I have the McFarlane one, and it's huge.
Yeah.
I picked up the canopy from Ramen Toy, and having that canopy, this really elevates that because like it's got like it looks exactly like that one, like you see here in this picture. You know what I mean? Yeah. So.
Yeah, well, ours will come with a correctly colored canopy included. You don't have to buy an extra one. No, I'm kidding. I love McFarlane. Shout out Todd, Jason, all those guys out there. But I mean, 13 inches is no slouch. Like that's only an inch shorter than this Godzilla. So
yeah, that's cool. And like if you have like 1/18 scale Batmans, it'll fit in there. I'm assuming. Is that correct?
What you do with your Batmobile after you purchase it is up to you.
Perfect. Got it. Okay. Now, is this the only thing, or are you guys planning on doing like Batman, Joker, and all that?
I would love to. I think it depends on how well this one sells. So for now, this is the only thing that we're kind of working on. But if there's a demand in the future and this one does well, I think there's a lot more Bat vehicles, Bat gadgets, Bat anything we could do. Like talk about storied history. He's been around longer than Godzilla.
Yeah.
So like there's all kinds of stuff you can do.
Yeah.
It's a pretty competitive license too, right?
There's
a lot of people in there.
It is, but we got, like I said, we got very talented licensing people who carved out a niche for us and figure out what we can make and what we can't. So
yeah. Is this like has Super7 done DC characters before, or is this like the first one? I can't recall.
Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, we were partnered with Funko on the Reaction brand. And we did some characters from the Arrow TV show in Reaction.
Okay.
Like we're talking 10 plus years ago though at this point. So that is, to my knowledge, that is the only kind of DC stuff that we've ever done. But I'd like to think we're redeeming ourselves here with this one.
Yeah.
So I've done DC stuff before in the past. Like that first toy job that I had told you about was all DC stuff.
Sure.
So it was really cool to like come back to the brand and be excited about it again. But I never really left it. I've always loved Batman. So
yeah, cool. Alrighty, so let's move on. And I didn't know that these things are out now. Is that correct, Kyle?
I think so.
Because I saw on Instagram stories from Christine Chapman. And so what? I didn't know these things were out.
So they're street dated for October, but I think some of the stores have broken street dates.
Is that
what?
Yeah,
you got one, Mike? Dang, look at you.
Super7 sent it to them.
Did they? Wow. Dude, that's a whole different department. I don't know anything about that.
Surprise.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
They sent them to me.
All right, cool. What do you think?
How tall are they?
They're cool. So I'll put up a reaction figure next to it so you can see.
I think it's
act like I'm not here. What do you actually think?
I like them a lot. I was
All
telling Kaiju Connect that they feel like modern versions of a Trendmasters figure, with a little bit more like articulation that we wouldn't have had back then.
Would you believe me if I said that's exactly what I was hoping you'd say?
Yeah. It's the bendy tail too. Like that's the there's cat hair flying around. But the bendy tail really gives me the Trendmasters vibes. But like the overall size and the shape of everything, it's very Trendmasters, especially with the Mechagodzilla. Like I really
look at that.
I really dig the Mechagodzilla, and I like the articulation and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. And then you get the little builder.
Masters flashbacks.
Oh yeah, there's a
you get the two building
building
pieces, and then you can put them together, and they.
Yep.
Ah.
And then you can knock it over.
Yeah. I was just before I got on the stream, I was shooting video, and some photos of them. So
Perfect.
you'll see those in a few days.
Love it.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Thank you for sending me these, Kyle, specifically.
I didn't do anything. I just work here.
Yeah.
You're going to try to get me killed, Mike? Come on, man.
No, I got a surprise text one day, and they were like, "Do you want them?" I was like, "Yeah, I want them. I'll take some videos and photos for you guys." Yeah,
Perfect.
no problem.
Cool. And these comes with hinged jaws, yeah?
Yeah.
They do have hinge jaws.
Yeah.
Because that's there was a comment.
Are you not entertained? Are you finally happy now?
Yeah, because there was a comment here earlier. Oh, are you guys working on hinged jaws? I mean,
Yeah, you can see it here. I got it right there.
Nice. There you go.
It's real.
Hinge
And
jaw
I'm not gonna-
confirmed.
Yep. You want to see inside the
You
mouth?
should just take a super close up of that jaw and just post it everywhere, and you're like, it's here.
very cool.
But it's not the one that I wanted.
Yeah. And you guys are doing also the ThunderCats. I mean, I love ThunderCats ever since I was a kid. Here's this right here was my very first Super 7 figure that I picked up.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
love
on
this
that
guy
one too.
Oh, you did, eh?
I did.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I worked. I did the first 4 waves of ThunderCats Ultimates, and then I just hopped back onto it recently. So
yeah. I when I saw this, I was like, I gotta get him. He looked, because I had the very first Lion-O, when that came out, like ages.
The Matty Collector one.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know, man. Like the knees couldn't bend or anything like that. You know what I mean? That very first line
Sure. Yeah,
where you put the thing in his back.
Oh, the LJN one. Damn,
yeah,
okay.
that one.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was like, oh man, this looks like the cartoon Lion-O. I have to get it. Yeah. So
Perfect.
yeah, I'm in the hunt to get Mumra and Panthro. Okay. That Thunder Tank is just too massive, man. I have no space for that Thunder Tank.
Says the Godzilla collector. There is a limit. Is what I'm realizing. There is a limit.
Yeah. And you guys are making that Cat's Lair too, right? The Cat's Lair?
We are, yeah. Currently in tooling right now. We just looked at test shots not too long ago, and they're painting it up next and all that fun stuff. So yeah, it's coming along.
Cool.
But yeah.
Very, very cool. Yeah. And Monkey, and I've always liked that Monkey and guy. He was kind of funny, the guy.
He's is he my favorite mutant? Yeah. It's either him or Slithe are my favorite.
Slithe was cool. Yeah, but Monkey and woo, 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 woo.
Yeah. We also just looks pretty brutal compared to all the other ones. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Jackalman, like Jackalman's kind of a goober in a way too, though.
He was like the Starscream of that group. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, so let's get into other news. And well, man. Kyle, do you collect any Haya toys by any chance?
I do. I have almost all of their legendary stuff. So I have the Mothra, the Rodan, the Ghidorah, and I have 3 of their 2021 Godzillas. I have the regular one, and then the blueberry, and then the like flaming hot Cheeto one.
Yeah.
And I'm probably good after that. So
yeah,
but
I
as far as legendary goes,
so far, yeah. So like, they're like all over here.
That shelf looks like mine.
Yeah,
crazy. I'll probably get this one though, because I do love this design, because he just looks like a demon without eyes and stuff. But those aren't Haya. Anyways.
Oh, what those?
Yeah,
these ones.
Those little boys.
No big deal.
This is Easy Hobbies Omega Beast.
Mm-hmm.
That one, and this one here. Oh Jesus, this one's X Plus, gigantic 9089. Love that one, and then Omega Beast, and then Omega Beast.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I'm running out of.
But no room for Cat's Lair, apparently.
Yeah. No. The Thunder Tank
Thunder Tank, yeah.
Thunder Tank. No Thunder Tank in his future.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, but I'm very much looking forward to this figure. Man, this
Yeah.
looks fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. Alrighty. And yeah, man, I mean, look at this. I mean, the Haya's come a long way in terms of like their articulation, I think. You know what I mean? Like they're catching up. I think like the gap is narrowing, I think, between like the articulation between, you know, Haya and a Monster Arts figure. I'm not sure, but to me, that's what it feels like, and that's what it looks like. Yeah. So, but this looks great. I mean, looks phenomenal, man. Yeah. Who's picking this up? Show of hands. Cool. Very, very nice.
They gotta do. Somebody's got to do the whole cast, man. Like, Monster Arts has done the two, like this one, and then the repaint. Haya's coming out with this one. I assume that we will get to Ultimate's version of this guy based on the last conversation with Brian. We need the full cast.
Sure.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah. Baragon, you know, GMK, Ghidorah. Yeah, we need them all. Yeah, totally.
I want a Baragon that comes with the sound effect of the like
food
actress.
Yeah. So Haya showed off this, but like, well, they didn't. To be fair, they didn't show it off to the North American audience. This was, you know, on their socials, in their Chinese socials. You know what I mean? Because this is going to be a Wonderfest Shanghai exclusive, so that's why it was never shown to us officially. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I hope at some point that Haya does decide to release this guy, because this, number one, this looks phenomenal. Like, I remember when I did the review for this one, I did mention that I would like in the future for them to make an orange translucent one that looks closer to the Spyro Studios one, and sure enough, they do it. Because this looks exactly like the Spyro Studios, right down to the color of the teeth. Because if you look at that Spyro Studios, the teeth are black, and that's what they did with this one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I was like, oh man, but that's not coming out here, and like that's like next door to me. You know what I mean? So I was like,
sure.
I do have family members in China and things, because my wife, you know, my wife is Taiwanese and stuff, and she has family in China, and I'm like, I'm trying to pull favors to see if anybody can get me this figure. So
you have a better shot than we do.
Yeah. But man, what are your thoughts, guys? And especially like these parts for Ghidorah, like the stumps and stuff. What do you guys think? Anybody?
I'm crazy for stumps.
Yeah,
I think he looks great. I don't have any of the Haya Ghidorahs, so those accessories wouldn't do anything for me. But unless I got them, but the overall, like, he looks fantastic.
You can send me yours. That's fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, very, very nice.
I'm curious to see how the gold on the stumps. Like, is it just for the beam variant? Because if it's just for the beam variant, that
that doesn't help me. I have the mustard color one.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Well, because he's not actually gold in the movie. Whatever.
So, like, I'm hoping that these actually turn out a color like somewhere between the two.
Yeah.
But you know, just here's hoping.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But apparently, so now we know that Haya can do exclusives too. You know what I mean? Like any other company.
Sure.
You know? So yeah. Alrighty. I mean, this looks great. I hope whoever I send out can get this. I personally can't go to China because, you know, I'm Canadian, and relationships between the Canadian government and Chinese government are not, you know, shaky, I guess.
Bummer.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Yeah,
so
cool.
Now this.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Yes. Yeah. But I really hope that this does get released. You know, generally, I mean, like everybody deserves a shot at getting this. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, man, there is a possibility that I may get this because I have friends in Japan, and I'm traveling to Japan in November. You know, for Godzilla Day and things. So, yeah. So stay tuned. There's a strong chance that I might get my hands on this guy. So
cool.
I do. Yes. Alrighty.
Michael, you work for Monster Arts. Bring it over.
I'll just ship that through the computer right now.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Just yeah, it's to be determined right now for US stuff. So just we just gotta wait it out. It's a Tamashii Nations 2024 exclusive. Things could be different because it's Godzilla, you know, you never know. So just I haven't heard no. That's the thing. So until I hear no or until the otherwise spoken, it's TBD.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you think they'll ever get to making like an elongated spikes version of the charge up at some point? What do you think? Because this is just like a kind of like a repaint, you know what I mean? Like, but like you remember,
I think if there was an opportunity to do it, it would have been done with this one right here. That's just my personal opinion. I would imagine that if they did do it like that, possible, it would take resculpting, which would, you know, new tooling that would cost more. That would be, I think they look at it and they have to look at it. It's like, if we do these things, will people still buy it? Because it's already, you know, this one's 176 yen, right? So it's like it's already like to do that next step, which would to make those dorsals go up and down to move. That would probably maybe boost it to like a $200, $180 figure at that point for the US. But if it was just sculpted so that it was just elongated without movement, I could see that being a possibility.
You still have to retool that whole thing, though.
Yeah, exactly. You would, and it would probably still be about maybe the 176 range. It'd probably be more, honestly. Probably be a $200 figure if they included the beam like this too.
Well, and technically though, wouldn't it not be a beam version because he doesn't blast the beam until the spines go back into his body?
That's
so
true.
This is
That's correct. So
accurate.
it's almost like they did that on purpose.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, he wouldn't come. He would. It wouldn't make sense for him to come with the beam. He would have that charging up variant that a lot of people don't tend to like, but it would make sense for this specific design.
Yeah, for this one it makes sense. I took the piss a little bit when they did it with the San Diego 89 version because I thought it was silly. But when I did my video
a legit
on
charging one for this one would be cool with like the extended spikes because it's something that no other Godzilla does, right?
Yes, exactly. Like when I did my video on this one, I was like, like the spikes aren't elongated, but also he doesn't fire the beam while they're elongated. Like,
he also, if we're gonna get into like true nitpicking, here I am coming the thing I sort of destroy. He doesn't fire the beam with his neck up like that.
No,
he like goes like fully horizontal.
Yes.
So he's got really good posture for somebody who's like throwing, you know, all of his like Haktua energy right now.
I mean,
I don't know. I want that neck to be more vertical. Like I want him to really.
I mean, this figure can get down there pretty good actually at that level.
Yeah.
But the camera angle is pretty low on this too. So
yeah, true.
But yeah, I think it's I think they've become very lately, especially with the costs in Japan and the economy the way it's going. I think they've been very picking and choosing what to include beam effects with, and really sticking it to like, you know, it's charging, it's not actually emitting it. You know, it's that very specificness that they're going around these figures lately. As much as some people may not like those responses, that's just. I think it's also it's just a business decision that they're just doing with this. Yeah. And it also opens up the opportunity in the future. Like, say, if 1989 figure does get a heat rate version, they can do it now.
Yeah.
So they can release that 3 times.
Yeah. Do you guys like the look of the effect?
I think this view is at an awkward angle.
I remember it being more of a laser and less flamey to me.
Yeah.
How do you finish it at the end, right?
It's hard because that one's a little bit. It's like a beam, but it's got like particles coming off of it and stuff in the film, opposed to it just being like a solid line, or like a Shin Godzilla. Or then you have the MonsterVerse one, which is very flamey at times. And I think this one looks fine overall.
I think they split the difference a little bit.
Yeah.
I think people are generally happy with this because it's not an existing beam; it's a brand new style. So I think this would have looked cool if it had like a bullet head on it.
Yeah, like the Haya Toys Godzilla.
Yeah. I think that would look cool for this figure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Alrighty, so and it's coming with the Shinden.
Unpainted, but whatever, it's fine.
But at least it's in the right color, though. Green.
It is in the right color.
Yeah, because like I did pick up like a Shinden from Etsy, and miraculously, it's like the same scale as that. You know what I mean? And that came unpainted and stuff. So I got my buddy to paint it and stuff. I've done some photos with it and stuff, but it's tiny. It's tiny. Yeah. But very cool. But Kyle mentioned Kaju Canuck. You don't like the stand for this.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like that the stand is 100 times larger than the plane.
You know what, though? You should be able to use those pre-existing stands if you own any of the other figures that have the wires on them. You should be able to use those.
That'd be good.
Because
the Rodan from Singular Point?
Yeah.
You can use that. You can use if you got the exclusive Kong figure with the heave, you can use that one. If you have the Godzilla Junior figure with the helicopters, you can use those wires too.
Cool.
Because this is, even though it's that large stand, it's actually an adapter that goes on top of it. That's the same size as those wires.
Oh, I see it now. You look at it, it's like plugged into it. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, it's an adapter that goes on top of it right there. So you can use that. I'm thinking about just making it available to people, just making a custom stand with wires for this stuff too, and just making that available. So stay tuned on details for that.
I buy that. If it can work with the 3D print Shinden that I have around here somewhere that someone posted, that would be even better. So
yeah, I mean it's pretty simple. Just buy the wire and get a 3D base, 3D print a base that can hold it, and there's your stand.
There you go.
Very nice. And this is the poster for Godzilla Day. So, man, it's finally happening for me, dude. I'm gonna be at Godzilla Day.
Cool.
So I will travel to Japan, and I will spend the week there and things. And I'm meeting some friends out there too. Rockchala, he lives out in Tokyo. Nathan, the great figure man, and he's introducing me to some other people and stuff. So, and he's introducing me to the guy that's gonna get me that Godzilla you just saw. So
cool.
Very cool. Looking forward to that.
That's rad.
All right. So Kyle, have you ever been out to Tokyo?
I have not. That is like my number one travel wish list dream destination. I always wanted to go. My father is actually fluent in Japanese, and he's been 28 times. He used to be vice president president of sales of North America for Hitachi of America back in the 90s. And so he's been a bunch. He was best man at a Japanese wedding in the 90s. Like, he is super fluent. So Japanese culture has always kind of been present in my life since I was growing up. So we're thinking that once my girl graduates, because she's doing her PhD studies, our like gift to her for graduating and us is going to be a Japan trip. So
you have to, man. And there's like let me know when that time comes out. I'll recommend some places to you, man.
Sure.
Shibuya Sky is phenomenal.
Cool.
Shibuya is like that famous crosswalk. But at that same spot, there's a skyscraper called Shibuya Sky where you go up to the top. Okay,
that's cool.
You cannot have any hats or umbrellas and stuff like that because it's windy as hell up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it's beautiful. Like on a clear day, you can see Fuji Mountain. You can see like the whole city, and like for miles and miles and miles, it's just nothing but concrete jungle of Tokyo. It's incredible. It's absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. And we were in our last trip. We were in Osaka. That was great too. And we got to spend time in Kyoto. So I was in Kyoto Station, the site where Godzilla fought, not Godzilla, Gamera fought.
Gauss
Yeah, no,
or Legion.
no, what's that?
Iris.
Iris?
Iris.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there. I was
The 1
there.
out of 3 chance.
I was saying I only know.
Yeah. Kyoto's is nice. It's nice and peaceful and things, you know. But then going up into the mountains and stuff like that, and seeing like all those pagodas and stuff like that, it's you'll get a kick out of it.
Cool, man. Yeah, can't wait. Got to book it at some point.
Yeah.
And
if you can, like, I mean, you can go to Awaji, Operation Awaji Island. That's where the Shin Godzilla zip line is.
Okay, cool.
I got to go, like, I did a video on that, man.
Cool.
Like, very fun. But I only went there for that, and then there's that Godzilla museum right next to it and things. I went nuts there, man. And I saw this guy on display right here. This guy right here.
Yeah.
And like, I told my wife, I go, sweetie, can you buy me this, please?
Why her? Don't you have your own money? What's going on?
Hey, she's the boss. Like, listen, I'm the mule, but
she's the CFO. I get it.
Yeah. And she's like, okay, fine. You know what I mean? I was like, yes, okay. And that's fun. But like, there's other things to see in that park. But really, like, the main thing is just to see that big Shin Godzilla head and things.
Yeah,
but if you go on that zip line, I'm 5'11". If you're taller than 5'11", that harness is going to be painful on you. Okay.
I'm hosed. I'm 6'2", so it's not going to be great.
You're going to be in pain the entire time going down.
It's all right. Worth it. It's just cool. Like they're trying to make you feel just like Shin Godzilla. He's always in pain. So are you. And part of the experience.
That should be a children's storybook.
There you go.
I'm in pain, and you should be too.
So, Kyle, I have a Super 7 wish list. Okay. That I would like to share with you.
Brace yourself.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'll let you know if I've heard these before. How's that?
Okay, cool. Alrighty. So I think I've told you my number one a couple of times already and things. And then people in the chat chime in too, whether you guys want to see this or not too. Okay, so here we go. So number one, this is my number one.
Okay. All right.
Must.
I hope you mean Godzilla and not the other thing on the screen.
No, both. Yeah. Both.
Both. Okay. Both.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the boat. Really want that boat.
Yeah.
This is my very first Godzilla. Okay,
sure.
When I was a little kid, I was 5 years old.
Everybody remembers their first, man. I get it.
Yes, this is my first Godzilla, and I loved this Godzilla. I still love this Godzilla to this day. Yeah. And like, remember watching the cartoon, like his roar, it was like something like that, like he's like constipated or something. You know what I mean?
No notes.
And then, sure enough, a month later, I finally get to see my very first live-action Godzilla movie, and it's King Kong versus Godzilla. And then, like, my mind was like, what the hell's going on here? Why does he look like that? Why does he sound like that? Why is he a bad guy? Like, a million different questions was racing through my mind. But this guy here, so, like, this in Ultimates, Toho Ultimates Super 7, this would be phenomenal, and it would be like your smoothest Godzilla ever. You know what I mean? Because it's just a cartoon,
man.
Right?
Yeah, so, the David the sculptor would be stoked. I don't have to do any spikes. I don't have to do anything. It was just amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
And like Godzuki, like I would like I love.
You're losing me. You're losing me.
I'm trying to remember who didn't. I think Mondo's done this, right? Somebody did a statue.
They have, their artist series, and that scales pretty well with SH. I have the Mondo Hanna-Barbera Godzilla. I have it up on my like shelf with all my SH.
Yeah. I did it
actually is pretty close. So, like I'm good, so I don't need to make it anymore
for some reason.
Yeah. No, it's a little on the large side because he's got the thick thighs that save lives, but otherwise he's pretty good. So
yeah, All right. So
I remember I remember watching this the first time because growing up I didn't have cable, I didn't have access to Hanna-Barbera Network or anything like that. And I remember I went to one of my cousin's houses and they said, "Oh, the Godzilla cartoon's on. You want to watch it?" Because they knew I like Godzilla. I was like, "There's a Godzilla cartoon? Yes, I want to watch that. Let's watch it." And they put it on. And I was just like, "What the hell is this?"
But you were treated to the greatest theme song of all time.
I'm not gonna lie, I was just perplexed by it the first time I saw it because I think the first time I watched it, I was about maybe 13 years old when I first saw this.
Yeah,
and I was just like, "This isn't guts. This is like a giant thing going." I'm like, this isn't Godzilla. And so I left the room like, "Don't you like it?" It's like, what's there to like? I kept walking away.
Larry David energy as a child.
I was spoiled because I had watched 1984 and Terror of Mechagodzilla to death at that point, and Invasion of the Astro Monster, so I already know what Godzilla sounds like. So to hear the cartoon and not
hear the roar, I could see how
I was just like, what? Like the look, I was just kind of like, this kind of reminds me of Dink the Last Dinosaur or Dink the Last Dinosaur kind of thing.
But then cut to the 2000s Godzilla series after the 98 movie, and it sounds awesome. It sounds correct. It sounds like Godzilla. So.
When I watched the 98 cartoon series, I was like, hey, it sounds like Godzilla. I can get behind this. It didn't look like Godzilla, but it sounded like him.
Well, to me, this was my first Godzilla, and I loved him so much. I still love him. I had the plushie. I had my mother. During the time when I was watching this cartoon, I went to a dollar store with my mom, and they were sitting on the shelf the plushie to this guy right here, and I had to get it. Yeah, and that's all I had for many years until I became a teenager, and then I went to Toronto's version of Comic-Con, which is Fan Expo.
Fan Expo, yeah.
And then that's when I saw Bandai movie. It was Bandai Godzilla '89. I was like, oh, look at that Godzilla! Oh my god, I gotta get it, right? And that's all I had until I came to Taiwan, and I brought that with me and things. And then when did SH Monster start? 2011. 11, yeah. And then I was with my girlfriend, now my wife. We were walking into a store, and then I was like, oh my god, look at that Godzilla. It looks exactly like the movie. And then she got me that Godzilla for Christmas, my very first SH Monster Arts, and I married her. So
nice.
Alrighty. So let's move on.
Giving.
So Marvel Godzilla. Yeah.
I'd be into this.
This is a true legend.
You guys did the Dark Horse one already.
We did.
I was gonna say, didn't you do this already? Yeah. Okay. Dark Horse.
A version of it, the Dark Horse Godzilla. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, the Dark Horse Godzilla is based on like the high side Godzilla. You know what I mean? Which is kind of cool.
It's based on 98, but it has colors that are much closer to or not 98. What am I saying? 89. But it's my dyslexia is showing here. Yeah, it's based on these colors though, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, but I would like this. Yeah,
definitely.
All right, next one. 54.
54, of course. Yeah, classic. Yeah. I mean, Flynn's talked about it. Like, once we enter Showa era, we're probably gonna start with this guy, just because he's what started it all. You kind of have to.
Sure.
So,
yeah. And please include those tanks.
That not up to me.
Have them as an accessory pack, because I will buy those.
Super pack? That'll get you?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I will get that.
Yeah. All right.
Or
people get mad at the super packs, but they work. So.
I will buy those accessories, yes.
Yeah.
I need those.
Especially too, like if you do like when you get around to doing variants and stuff like that, like if you do like a mini Serizawa holding the oxygen destroyer or something like that.
That might be hard. They get real weird about likeness and stuff. I know it's just a dude in a diving suit, but still, like.
Okay.
I mean, Toho Maniacs has got you covered for now, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They actually have his face in there too and everything. It's crazy.
Whoa. Yeah. I have the Defo Reel X Plus one. Just because I've never seen anything Serizawa ever. So.
Yeah. what about like this comment right here that JC is saying? But like the thing is like that was only a concept, but that never came to Stan Winston Godzilla.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it, and I think all of us here are familiar with it. But is the average consumer who's like, oh, I kind of like Godzilla, or oh, my nephew likes Godzilla, are they gonna know what the Stan Winston Godzilla is? You have to factor that kind of stuff into it too.
Yeah, that's a deep cut there.
Yeah, for sure.
It's probably more likely for reaction than Ultimate, if anything, right?
Yeah, like that's
this
cool.
Is by, Rickson Customs.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
See, you're good. Harold, you're good. You don't need one. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one less I can sell now. So what are you gonna do?
It's a really cool figure though. I mean, it doesn't move or anything like that, but this is like it comes with the tube, and the tube is like a flexible material.
Yeah.
The oxygen, you can take it off of his hands and whatnot. It's just plastic, but this is you can do some. I did a photo of this. I don't know if I shared it with you guys, but I superimposed it with the 1954 Godzilla Monsters figure, and it's pretty cool. Inside, you can't see it that well because of the reflection, but they actually do have his face and the eye patch inside there and everything.
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, but it's a pretty neat figure.
Nice.
Very nice. Oh, you have look at that in the back.
Oh yeah. Here, let me just change my focus there. There you go. Yeah, that was from my last photo shoot.
Nice.
So that's with the let's see if we can. Yeah, that's as far as I can get zoomed in with this camera. But that's just the 1989. I can't pick it up because it's on a wire. So,
Sure.
but I modified it so that it has electronics in it now, so the fins light up.
Nice. That's cool.
That's very cool. Yeah. Awesome.
Blue.
Alrighty. So next one on the wish list.
Yes, of course.
I know this is going to be.
You don't like the reaction one?
I can't get that here. I gotta really look for it here in Taiwan. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I've always wanted an articulate. I missed my chance to get that Revoltech one that came out a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, me too.
I have the Baragon one, but I missed out on this one, and I really want an Anguirus one. He's like the most underappreciated Toho monster, and he's their second creation. So
I know.
Yeah,
you say that while Ebra exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Who's the octopus? What's his name? Because he's even lower than Ebra. At least we say Ebra's name.
I think it's Udaku.
Udaku. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he actually has a name.
Which I think it just translates to giant octopus.
Yeah.
They got really creative with that one.
Yeah.
Now, Kyle, I think you've mentioned before that like a character like Anguirus with all the spikes, like that's a manufacturing nightmare, isn't it?
It is, and it was the reaction one. It took a lot to like figure out exactly, and like we were talking about with the -1. It's like okay, you have to then by hand check every angle of every spike and make sure that it actually reproduce can draft correctly, and it's forever. It takes forever. It's worth it because Anguirus rules. Anguirus is the best. I wish we could make more Anguirus. But it is an endeavor, but it's no more of an endeavor than any other sculpting project that we have. So
it's probably even why other companies like Monster Arts hasn't done it too. It's just because it's probably a sculpting mold nightmare with its carapace and stuff.
And the second you don't do it correctly and you don't have it draftable and all that stuff, then the factory separates those spikes and glues them in. And then your cost just goes up and up and up and up and up. And so you have to be very careful and very methodical and strategic on how you execute that stuff. Like I said, even the reaction one, not without its issues. So, and that's a fraction of the complexity.
I wonder if it also has to do with the size of the figure too, because reactions are fairly small,
that definitely helps.
Like X Plus is you get your big 30 cm versions of Anguirus and stuff, and they seem to do them a-okay. But
that's vinyl. That's different. It's a softer material that you can pull out. and
there
it'll
you
just
go.
right back to the spikes. So I mean,
Interesting.
there might be a
didn't know that.
world where it's like you can do like his vinyl backpack of spikes, and that might solve that. But then, you know, is that going to feel weird? Is that going to be cheap? Because it's like, oh, is that going to feel cheap because it's like roto or whatever? But there's some engineering thought that would have to go into him. I think you are right in that that might be a reason why people avoid him a little bit.
Yeah, so, I was looking back at the Revoltech Anguirus that's out there. The spikes are very soft vinyl-like material compared to the rest of the figure. So maybe that's how they were able to pull that one off.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Very interesting. Yeah.
So the answer is I would like to, but it's, you know, there are other people who
spikes are hard. Spikes are hard.
Spikes are hard. That's all I'll say. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially that many. My God. Alrighty. So I know this is coming for Bandai, but a lot of people would love to see a Super Godzilla.
A lot of people, or one guy who's watching right now?
Oh, okay. My bad. I'll speak.
Did I just put it together? Is Mike's Monsters? Is that what that's for? Holy shit! He's here. Yeah. Yes, of course. I would love to do Space Godzilla, but I mean Super Godzilla, but Space Godzilla recolor is sort of. But apparently that's not the correct way to do it. But you know, whatever.
That's kind of what they kind of did here with this.
So, yeah, exactly. I love Space Godzilla. So, like I said, more partial tools, recolors, that kind of stuff. I'd be very into.
Very cool. Alrighty.
The only thing about that movie Monsters figure is that they kept the crystals from the Space Godzilla. Yeah. They changed everything else except for the crystals. They should have just put on some dorsals for that from the Heisei figure on there. Other than that, it's almost perfect.
Almost perfect. Yeah. I don't know. I am of the mind where I would rather have it slightly incorrect and in my hands than completely perfect and non-existent.
Hey, I already ordered it, so this is coming my way. I'm not a vinyl guy or anything like that. I'm getting this.
Cool.
Alrighty. And then
are you sure it's not? You're not him.
Harold put these on there because Harold put these on there because I said that I wanted these figures.
Okay, all right. That's fine.
Yeah. I'm doing this for
we did not talk to the other guy about it.
Yeah.
This is all because he went down the line and he asked all of us which our wish lists were. I was like, bro, easy.
Baggin, yeah. I think Baggin kind of falls into the same line, like, as rad as he is and as underserved as he is. I think he kind of falls into the same line as that Stan Winston Godzilla a little bit. Like, obviously all of us want him, but like even like a guy who considers himself like a Godzilla fan, like, does everybody know who this is?
Right.
Maybe not. Like, all right, here's a real question. Kyle, who would you rather have, Ebra or Baggin?
Oh, Ebra.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So that's your answer, and that's why it might take a minute to get to. It might take a minute.
Fucking Sophie's choice, man. Like, you can't do that to me.
I just what I'm saying is that, like, I think it might take a minute to get to a Baggin. As cool as he is, that's all.
I don't know. I would take him.
When the reaction comes out by reaction,
I would take him over a Gabra.
A Gabra? I mean,
I would take him over Gabra.
Gabra's the hero that we all need, though.
Yeah.
Gabra might be my second favorite kaiju of all time.
So,
for one reason.
Just for his child care.
Oh my god.
So, yeah. Technique.
Bad. Hilarious. Alrighty, and this guy.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, please. I'd be very into it. Probably would have to call him Zilla, just because otherwise you then have to license out again and go to Sony and blah, all this.
Yeah,
that's just inviting
Final Wars Zilla. It's a whole lot more work.
You're just inviting angry comments at that point, but it's like totally makes sense. But people would just be so mad over the naming convention.
Let them be angry. Let them piss.
Didn't Spiral also name it Zilla for their product too, even though it's based off the 98 movie? Yeah, I think it's just a licensing thing. You know who it is.
Well, it's like the same reason that you can have an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man with the face shown if you call it Amazing Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man and not No Way Home.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
So the SH Monster Arts, SH Figure Arts Spider-Man from No Way Home, they had a head sculpt for Andrew Garfield, and then at the last very possible minute it got pulled because of that exact license.
And then they rebranded it as an Amazing Spider-Man 2 one and included the head because that like he signed away his likeness for that movie, but not for No Way Home. And it's the same thing with Alfred Molina, Dr. Octopus. Like he signed away his licensing for Spider-Man 2, like the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2, way back when, but not for No Way Home. Yeah. So it, like I said, like licensing is this very crazy, complex, like almost like witchcrafty type like business that is very like difficult to understand, even if as somebody who's like been, working alongside it for almost 10 years at this point. So.
Sure. Wow.
So we'll call it Andrew Garfieldzilla.
There you go.
It'll all work out.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks just like him.
Yep.
Yeah.
It does actually. When you...
I have the
ass head.
What is it? The Treadmasters one? I have. Yeah. But yeah, I still want. I want a figure. I want this guy.
Do you have the big one with like the trigger that comes out of its back?
No. It's the one that where you press the button on the side on his side and he roars. That one.
Okay, I had the one where you like pull down his spike and his like jaw moves and he shoots that.
Oh yeah, like that same one. Like you pushed like a button on his neck and his mouth opens and stuff.
Yeah, it was both.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, cool. Alrighty, do I have any more? And Legendary. Yeah. Whenever you guys get around to Legendary, I would love to have an 8-inch tall Legendary Godzilla. You know what I mean? Like probably my all-time favorite Godzilla because
really,
yeah.
Interesting.
Not okay. Here's why. It's because this design of Godzilla. Okay, it's 2019, 2021, I really like that their approach to this Godzilla was like, what if nature created Godzilla? Because he draws inspiration from real world animals like the crocodile and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And that's what I really appreciate about this Godzilla is that what if nature designed Godzilla? Sure. And like they drew inspiration from real world animals. That's why I love this Godzilla so much. Yeah.
Okay, but Harold, gun to your head, Legendary Godzilla or Hanna-Barbera Godzilla?
There you go.
Hanna-Barbera, because I got enough Legendary Godzilla.
Yeah.
This is your
Kyle's just bitter that I put him on the spot.
Yeah, no, I have to have Hanna-Barbera before this guy for sure. Yeah. So because I don't have a Hanna-Barbera, you know what I mean, and I've always wanted one. The very first articulated Hanna-Barbera figure. Yeah. So
now this one's cool. I love this design too. I don't love that first movie, but it was exciting nonetheless to like see Godzilla on the big screen again because I felt like that kid. Like back in the '98 theater. But yeah, this one's really cool. I think it is a separate license though. Like it's just a whole. It's like you have to license it from Toho and from Warner Brothers Legendary, so it's just like a whole other thing. So a little bit less likely from us, but I am a fan.
So like their Legendary co-owns this one, right? It's not straight Toho. Is that right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, but whenever you guys get around to it, I will be very, very, very happy to have this guy. Yeah.
Got it.
But of course, this guy must come first. This guy.
Okay.
Alrighty. So that's it for the wish list, guys. So is there anything else that we're missing?
Were there any wish lists in the comments?
Yeah, any wish lists?
There's one right now. Johnny Gallagher.
You're gonna make
Bagora.
Now you're speaking my language, Johnny Gallagher.
Dark Horse Comics characters.
I would love to. Bagora for sure. Those wings would be insane. They would be like basically it would be like that Mondo Man Bat, if anybody knows what I'm talking about. But I'd be into it. I love that thing. And then Cybersaur, I think there might be something there because like there was also like a gold recolor of Mechagodzilla in Trendmasters too, if I remember correctly. So maybe there's a crossing the streams opportunity there a little bit.
Yeah.
So
make Artigon, is that
Atragon?
Yeah.
Okay, and Gargantuous. Yeah, but I would love Gargantuous too. But like, who knows Gargantuous? You know, outside the hardcore people.
Flynn knows Gargantuous, and he has his own toy company, so that's enough to make Gargantuous. So,
I hope so. Yeah, man. Yeah, Gargantuous. Like it's those. That movie is such an unsung gem. It's like one of those Toho gems. It was so good. What a good movie. Yeah.
Great.
But crazy
too.
I was gonna say almost as cool as Matango.
Who doesn't like giant laughing
Hedera?
Hedera, yeah, of course. I mean, Flynn absolutely loves Hedera. So if I had to guess what Wave 1 Showa Ultimates looks like, it would probably be 54 Godzilla, 74 Mechagodzilla, Hedera, and Minya, just to spite me, probably.
Fire.
I love you, Flynn. Sorry.
Yeah. So if the rights were to get sorted out, I would love a Kong 62 and a Mechanic Kong. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, for sure.
That would be really cool. I think rights are more likely to get sorted out for a legendary than a Mechanic Kong.
Yeah.
Wow.
My understanding, there's not really a rights issue with those anymore. It's just that you have to go through the proper. You just have to go through Universal and Toho now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about Mechanicon. I don't know about Mechanicon, but I'm talking about just Kong.
What I heard was that if you go to Toho to ask about it, they say go to Universal, and then if you go to Universal, they say go to Toho.
Yeah, that's correct. That happens more often than you
happens.
think. Yes.
Yeah.
So. I think someone needs to make it and let the license holders come out and be like, wait a second, and then
and do the negotiation after that.
Yeah,
you got good lawyers, Kyle. You should totally do it.
Universal's kind of weird too because I remember back when 2005 Kong was out.
Yeah.
Because back when Bluefin was around and the ones in charge, they were talking about like, what if we did the 1962? And Universal was like, but we want to push the current Kong that's out there. We don't want to touch the old one. So that was why they shut it down at the time for the classic Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's different now. I mean, Legendary's doing it, so I don't think they would have so much of a say since Universal's not outputting movies anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. But it doesn't matter about movies. It's still like who has the rights or whatever.
Well,
like Legendary could be paying Universal whatever fee or something like that. But I don't know how any of that works.
I don't think they are though because they don't use the word king in their Kong.
Right. And that's how they get around it. Like how the Hulk doesn't actually have any movies. He's just stars in other people's. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is that really it?
That is the thing. Yeah. There can't like if they make a Hulk solo movie, they didn't. Universal made that.
The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton.
Yeah. Universal made that in partnership with Marvel. It's kind of like the Sony Spider-Man movies.
Okay. Right, it feels so different than the rest of the franchise too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So basically, he's not allowed to have his own movie without paying out Universal for everything. So,
very interesting.
No wonder they watered them down, man. God.
Yeah.
Oh, this one, Cloverfield.
Oh yeah, that'd be a fun one.
Yeah.
Who has those rights? I don't know.
Because
it's Sony. And
I think Hasbro had it last.
Hasbro had it last. Titanic Creations is trying to get it sorted, but it's been a challenge.
Yeah.
Damn. So what about Red Ronin from Marvel Godzilla?
It's a deep cut.
It's a deep cut, but if we even get to a Marvel Godzilla, and then that one does exceptionally well, that's when we start looking at villains for him to fight or whatever. So.
Sure.
By the reaction. That's the lesson we're learning today. By the reaction.
Correct.
Do you guys still have the Alien and Predator license right now? Are you guys still working
on that? No, we don't, because that was all with that all got put under the umbrella of Disney.
Yeah.
So don't have that anymore.
Did it stop when that happened? Was that when it ran out essentially?
Yeah, as soon as the Disney stuff went away, we had some stuff in the works, and that all went away after
That's
that.
a bummer.
So yeah, it is.
That's one of the other ones I collect from you guys. I would have loved to see
Yeah.
Ultimate Predator from you guys.
Yeah.
Like if you guys could have done like classic Kenner throwback style for the
Mhm.
Ultimate Alien and Predator, that would have been really cool.
That would have been cool.
Heck yeah.
It would have been fun.
Sign me.
We had some cool stuff planned, but yeah, just not to be. So
Damn.
Cool. Alrighty.
what else you got for me?
Well, we've reached the end of the slides and stuff like that. We've hit all the topics. Is there anything else extra that you guys want to talk about? No news drops or anything? Oh, look at him! Wait.
He's not being cooperative. He wanted up here, but now he doesn't want to be here. He wants to get out of the shot.
Because cats are jerks. Yeah. I
Yeah.
get it.
He was like pawing, trying to get up here, and now he's like, no, put me down now. And now I'm covered in cat
He just
hair.
wanted to know he can make you do it.
And now he's back at it again. Now I put him down on the ground.
Yeah.
That's for you.
Oh, what about Gamera, Kyle?
I mean, yeah, I'd be into it. Separate license, but that'd be fun. So
Yeah. So speaking of Gamera, the SH Monsters just recently solicited their, what is it, Michael? Gamera 96?
So it's from the second movie, 1996, Sendai Decisive Battle version.
It's always a decisive battle.
They love doing those decisive battles. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, if they've already done the first figure, they did special color for a while.
Sure.
And it seems like they stopped doing that, and now they're doing decisive battle. So it might have like an altered color palette to it, and then it generally will come with some extra effect parts now,
so that they can
specifically
charge
battle
more
damage.
for old molds. That's brilliant. So
yeah. This one came out. The first one came out in 2015. I think it was like $86 is what it was. It was $87 that it retailed for, and then and now the new one's $125. And the only thing that's new is damaged swappable shell part that they included on it. That's the only new piece, but everything else has been recolored.
all right.
I mean, it was in 2015 when that one came out, so
Yeah.
it's actually not that bad of a price hike. A lot of people were thinking it was going to be 140, but 125 is not too
considering like almost a decade. Yeah, that's pretty good. So, and I don't have a Gamera, so maybe they got me. Who knows?
It seems like some fans of Gamera are like, it doesn't have blue eyes, but I think it looks good either way.
Yeah.
I've only got two Gameras. I have a Gamera 99 and Rebirth Gamera. So I'm waiting for a new Gamera Rebirth variant whenever that happens, Michael. Yeah.
I think they're going to focus on Gamera 1996 right now. So keep your eyes out for Tamashii Nations 2024. They might be showing off Legion. Who knows?
Who knows?
Oh, dear.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Because this is kind of like the same thing that happened with the 99. They did Kyoto, and then with that, they also showed off Iris at Tamashii Nations 2024.
That was the exact time. It was exactly that weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's looking like a similar situation. So I think we might see Legion. I don't think it'll be solicited or anything, but I think they might show it off. We'll see what happens. Because they like it. Their current strategy is show off the hero figure and then give it a villain to go with. So that's the recent strategy that they've been going with now.
Isn't that what they did with Gigan and Godzilla too, or am I getting the order mixed up?
Yeah, it's both. They go both ways. Yeah. So they did Gigan first, and then they did the Godzilla figure after that.
Cool.
So like some other examples, they did Mecha, King Ghidorah, and then we got Godzilla 91.
Yeah. Right.
So.
Good point.
So it's kind of that. And then like if something's like a reissue or a recolor of something, then they'll try to put in a new figure to go with that one too. So recently we got the Space Godzilla and Mogira figure. We might get a 2.0 version of 1994 Godzilla. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that hasn't been really reissued yet, other than like that San Diego Comic-Con explosion.
I mean, it got its own it got a reissue in the very beginning, but it could use an overhaul in articulation engineering. That was their very first figure, and it's very stiff.
Yeah, I have that one.
Yeah,
It
I
was
have
like
that one too.
my first one.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, I love that. Yeah, but then like when I went to Japan, I think it was like my first trip, or was it my second? And then I saw Godzilla 95 Rebirth. I was like, oh, do I need this? Because I already have that one. But then when I picked it up and then I opened it, I was like, oh my god, what was I thinking? Yes, but jeez.
Yeah. It's much more. It moves a lot better than the first one.
Yeah. I think it moves too much though. You know what I mean? Like I think that the torso articulation, I don't think you need it though. You know what I mean? Like yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's why it's got those big gaps in there so that you can really move it around.
Yeah.
Because that was the big complaint with the first one. The first one, everybody said that it was so tight you could barely move it. So they went the opposite.
Yeah, but that thing moves better than the actual suit already. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah. You know? I think they found a really good footing with the 91 figure that came out. That one.
That's awesome.
That 91, they did articulation of the tail all the way to the tip. They've got some nice ankle bend at the ankles there. It can look up in the air too for that specific design. So I think that's, if they continue with the Heisei designs with that kind of structure, I think that future ones are going to look pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, Kyle, I do have a question for you, Kyle.
Sure.
With the
unless you're talking to Canuck.
Yeah, I got startled.
Oh, sorry. Wlodyga.
There you go. Thank you.
So,
wow, look at you. You said it right and everything. Good job.
Oh,
I'm honored.
Gracias. Okay. So with this guy here, with all the engineering and all that, it was stated before that this is going to be like the new, this is a turning point for Super 7 in terms of articulation and things, right?
Mm-hmm.
To
sure.
understand it.
Trying to.
I think you're on the right track. You know what I mean? Like this is much better. You know, but I would like to know, like, does there exist a possibility of doing a 2.0 version of the Heisei? You know?
Yeah, I mean maybe. If we think there's a demand there, if we think like, okay, we kind of have it dialed in. I think there's still some things that we can work on, even on the -1. But I mean, I'd be into it. So, and it wouldn't be, might not even be like necessary to do like a full redo of that figure. Maybe like just fix like the tail and like the neck. Or
just the tail and the neck. I think. Just if you could adjust just that, but then keep everything else, I think you would have a banger of a figure.
Cool.
So, yeah.
We'll think about it. There's definitely
just mull that over.
Yeah, I'll bring it up to Flynn, see what happens. So, but he actually listens to Canuck a little bit more than me. So, Kyle, you should tell him too.
I might throw in the torso too. Maybe. That crunch is so good though.
No.
Maybe. You just said
Godzilla, I don't think he needs.
We'll see.
I don't think he needs the same torso as this guy here. I don't.
Maybe
so.
not as dramatic. No, but
yeah, but this is okay. I mean, I like this fine already. Oh Jesus, but
I like this fine. Just
yeah, but it's been highly requested by people about. I mean, you guys have it in those smaller Godzillas, the hinge jaws. But like, when can we, I don't know, possibly see that like in for future Ultimates in line for those to have like the hinge jaws?
I mean, not too distant future. I'm not sure exactly when all that is. But can we celebrate that they're here now on these?
Oh yeah,
first?
definitely.
That would be great. Cool, thank you. And then we can talk about what's coming next. Let's buy these ones first, and then talk about the next one.
Yeah, sure.
So
like even if we don't get the hinge jaw for the next variant of this guy, I'm still happy with this guy. You know what I mean? So like I would like for it. You know what I mean? Or like when you do a variant, like have like the mouth open wider, like because when he does do his heat ray, you know what I mean? He really opens his mouth,
pretty wild, yeah.
Or when he bites down on the train, he's like, he does that, you know what I mean? So like, I mean, you would definitely need the room for a heat ray for this guy, like when you get around to it, you know what I mean? Because like this, it would be very difficult, I think.
For sure.
Right. Well, Harold, did you pick up the first heat ray? You didn't, right? Their New York Comic Con one.
No, I couldn't find it here in Taiwan.
So that one is actually sculpted into the head, so it's like one seamless piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have to worry about articulated jaw if it's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so in my video I did mention the articulated jaw, and I don't think I gave enough credit to the point where, you know,
you can kind of get it horizontal there, Mike. I see it. Sorry.
Yeah. So I just wanted to.
Yeah.
But I didn't give enough credit to the point where, you know, the articulated jaw is not there in favor of preserving the sculpt.
Yeah.
And having just like a really nice looking sculpt. And something I didn't mention in my video is that it is done very well. Like the sculpt looks amazing. And in giving up the articulated jaw, I think that it is a success in the sense that like the sculpt looks amazing.
You can't really take credit for that. That was, you know, Toho and the movie director and all those guys sculpted it. We just made it move. So
Sure.
Yeah,
I do think it would be kind of cool, like in the future, where like if there was the static mouths, but then there's like a variant that also has the articulation, so that you have maybe the choice where it makes sense. I know not everybody wants to buy 2 of every figure, but but yeah, no, I it looks so good. It looks great.
Yeah. Well, thank you,
Kyle. I want to share with you. I think what would be a very cool Toho Ultimates variant would be an Orai Noriyoshi variant.
Yeah, I'd be into that movie poster, something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And even like the Mecha Godzilla, I have the Mecha Godzilla that goes with this guy. Like,
yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
that one next.
I love his poster art. I have the Space Godzilla poster. You can't see it; it's up on top above all of my Godzilla stuff.
yeah.
One of my favorite pieces. So, yeah, I mean, I'd definitely be very into like movie poster homages for Godzilla stuff. Especially Heisei, that like those posters are so iconic.
Sure. Yeah. Very, very cool, man. Yeah.
More concepts like the Meltdown Godzilla. Do more of that kind of stuff.
More of that? Okay. You know, what if I only got one in the chamber, Mike? What if
I don't know. I mean, I still need that one. So if you guys have any extra ones and you want to send me some more, specifically you, Kyle.
Hey man, no, you work out with whoever texted you about those 5-inch guys, because I had nothing to do with that. So.
Mike pulls up his Instagram. He says, "Secretly, this is Kyle. Don't tell."
Yeah, it's a picture of Kyle with the text on it saying, "We're sending you this."
Yeah, no, not me at all. So.
Very cool.
I'm still surprised that they even hit me up for it. I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever, guys." I'll not say no to that.
Yeah,
that makes me chill though.
Yeah.
If only I could live in LA.
Toys, so you know.
Yeah.
If only I could live in LA. I live out here in Taiwan.
Chilling ain't easy.
Yeah, you're missing out. There's like all these opportunities out this way.
It's expensive out here.
It's just expensive. That's all.
Yeah.
And it gets to be like 110 degrees for like a week straight for some reason. And
they'll send you free Godzilla stuff, but you can only afford to live in a TV box.
Yeah. And then it all falls over when it gets too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there is one character. Sorry to interject, guys. I would love to see Showa Rodan, Ultimate Showa Rodan.
I mean, Rodan's my boy, so you ain't got to tell me twice. I love Rodan.
Awesome.
He's always high on my list.
But which version are you talking about? 56, 64?
I mean, probably. I think I was more into 64, but then
I like 64.
But then 2021 showed up, and it was the coolest he's ever looked.
Great.
Yeah,
like ever. So
2019.
2019. Sorry, thank you.
Yeah.
2019. I knew it.
We knew what you're talking about.
I said it before. No one called me on it, so I was like, "Cool, it's 2021." So that's on you, Kyle. You messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2019 Rodan is like, where he just flies and just like scorches the earth. Like it's the best. So
Yeah.
I love Rodan. I mean, even Final Wars Rodan, where they like made him like the actual fastest kaiju alive, which is like what he's supposed to be. So I was super into that too. But yeah, I want to do Rodan, but then to that guy's comment, like a reissue of the Shogun Rodan would be awesome because Flynn has like several intact copies of that, so we could probably reproduce it pretty easily. Like, pretty sure we just took really, really nice high res photos and scanned his actual Shogun Ronin to make the reaction version. So it's pretty close to what's actually like from that original toy. So, but that's also how we made the Shogun Godzilla figure too. Like Flynn had an extra one because he loves that mold, and so we sent that to the factory. I've talked about this with Kyle, and they like spray painted it gray and then like scanned it, and then Flynn was like, "I want that one back," and it came back and it was spray painted gray and like destroyed, but he had it, so it was cool. Actually, part of the pitch process for our getting the Toho license was like showing them, "Hey, we want to do this. We want to do Shogun Godzilla," and it worked. So it was cool.
Cool. What about an Toho Ultimate style of the Imperial, like that's inspired by the Imperial Godzilla?
Oh, I mean, I'd be into that. I mean, I feel like that's more of like an '89 reissue with an alternate head. Something like that.
I think X Plus is doing some sort of weird take on that too.
With the
It's a 1962, yeah. And there was the reaction.
It looks really
was a repaint of the 84.
Yeah, there is the 84 one because I mean
that was my toy I grew up with, was the Imperial Godzilla right there. That's what I had for such a long time. I had a one that was like this big. I had this one that was like a 6-inch one or 8-inch or whatever, and then I had the big one.
Yeah, I had the big one.
I have the big one right here. The big one downstairs right now. All
my dog bit off the nose on the big one. I had to I had literally like a bite mark on the nose, and I had to super glue it back on there, and it never looked right after that.
Oh man.
Almost as cool as Trendmaster Space Godzilla. Almost.
Oh yeah, that one's.
He is a classic.
Tier. Yeah,
very cool.
I have all of the they're at my parents' place, but I have all of the, I think they're 10-inch ones with the sound effects on them. I have all of those.
Yeah.
Of the main line and the Godzilla Wars line. Yeah. I never got any of the Doom Island stuff. I didn't even know Doom Island existed until I was in college.
I had the Godzilla Wars stuff. Yeah.
I was like, what is this stuff? And everybody's like, oh, yeah, you can get it on eBay. I'm like, how the heck can you get what? I never even saw this in the store. And they're like, I guess they were like prizes or whatever or something.
Yeah, they were prizes because the line, the majority of everything that was going on with Trendmasters at that point in time, they just didn't fully produce all of it all at once because of 98 and the oversaturation. So whatever was made was given out as prizes.
Yeah. Because I remember I was going to this. I went to all the KB toys in my area, and I was just like, "Where's the Anguirus figure? Where's the Anguirus figure?" Just wanted the big 10-inch Anguirus figure because on the back of the Godzilla Wars bigger boxes, they had a Biollante and they had a Anguirus that you could get in the 10-inch. So I was just like, "Where are those two? Those are the only two I'm missing." And turns out they just never released them.
They never existed. Yeah. I had started falling in love again with the 5-inch ones.
Hell yeah.
The Rodan one. Yeah. And then, I mean, this guy is super fun too. His, wings. And then I managed to find one of these guys.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Is that the one with the sound? Does it have the sound?
It still works. Do you hear it?
Very barely.
Cutting out.
Sounds like
Trust me, it works. And it goes on for one more roar than you think it should. Huh. So, you think it's
that's
done,
so cool.
There's another one. So
that's very cool.
Yeah, that's what these are reminding me of. Those remind me of these, and
that was sort of the inspiration for what I was.
Does that Mecha Godzilla have a bendy tail too?
No, that one's it's no bend on that one.
Yeah.
But the Godzilla has a bendy tail.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So do they have the?
I used to bring my bendable Transmasters figure with me everywhere.
So did I.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
My
cool.
Biolante, the wires would poke out of her.
Oh yeah, same.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. So we have reached the end. We spoke. We talked about everything and things. We hit all the topics and things. This has been a very fun stream. Kyle, thank you so much for coming on with us.
Yeah, man.
Okay, Kyle Wlodyga, not Kaiju Canuck. You're all right.
You're not,
Wow,
you're not
bro.
thanks, Kyle.
You're not big stuff.
That's a thankless job. Jesus.
You're just expected to be here.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
true.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, brother.
Overshadowed.
Yeah.
All right,
Sorry.
but for those of you in the chat, thank you so much for coming by. This has been truly awesome. Thank you guys for your feedback and for chiming in and all that stuff. All right, and so before we go, Kyle Wlodyga, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Wlodyga or on Super7's Instagram as well. Check out super7.com. We just released some new Godzilla product. There might be some more coming in the future. Who knows? I do. Yes, there is more coming eventually. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Thanks again for having me. Like I said before, like no one really does this on by themselves. It's a huge team effort. I just am lucky enough to get to talk to you guys. So yeah, go to super7.com, Super7 on Instagram or Twitter, X, all that stuff. And go support. Go check out all the cool stuff we got going on.
Awesome. Very, very cool. Mike Monsters, where can people find you?
You can find me by searching that name, Mike's Monsters. You'll find me on Instagram, YouTube, X, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, every single thing out there. And I've been a little slow on putting stuff out lately because work's been kind of back up a little bit, but I've got some stuff in the works. Like I'm going to make a video of these little guys and photos of them too. Those will probably be out hopefully by the end of the weekend, if not sooner. Maybe we'll see. We'll see what life lets me do. But yeah, I'm all over the place. Just search Mike's Monsters, and you probably will see Mike Wazowski while you're searching. So
perfect.
Yeah,
Cool.
Probably.
And Kaiju Canuck, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me YouTube, Twitter/X.
Alrighty. And shit,
Not
Rob,
Instagram yet.
What about you? Yeah, not Instagram.
You can find me X, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, but it's dead. It's all Justin Rob Jira. I got a video of this guy coming out tomorrow by the end of the night. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome. And Articulation Series, where can people find you?
Everywhere. Just type in Monster Arts. You'll find me. No, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, all those good places.
Cool. Very, very nice. Alrighty. And you guys can find me here on YouTube, find me on Instagram, on X, and that's pretty much it, guys. All right. So, guys, thank you so much for everything. Kyle Wlodyga, you're freaking awesome. Thanks, you so much. Thank you to Super7 and Brent and Brian for making these awesome figures. I love these guys very much. I can't wait to get more of these guys and things, and I'm very excited and looking forward to the future of Super7. So thank you very much for that. Thank you for your work.
We're excited too. Like we're all fans. We're all excited to be here.
Awesome. All right, so guys, thank you very much. Guys, stay on. I'm going to end the chat. And guys, until the next time, whenever I organize the next show, I will let you guys know ahead of time, and then we'll take it from there. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Take care, guys. Goodbye.
Bye.
See ya. You just wave forever.
Uh-huh.
Perfect.